All right, hey there again, guys, and thanks again, replay viewers. It looked okay there. Now I can see you guys. I noticed when I logged out that people were actually there, but I couldn't see any of you guys. So I'm glad we started again. Hello, replay viewers, and hello, catch viewers. Catch viewers, feel free to follow me on Periscope, where you can watch live and participate with us. Okay, Periscope was definitely being weird because I turned it off and all you guys were there, but I couldn't see anyone. So, all right, we are gonna finish block number 11. We just have these two seams to do. There's a lot of matching up, but we'll do it. And then we will take photos. I like taking photos of my finished block, and I kind of like decorating it a little bit, and then I'll show you just kind of how I do that. I'll take a photo with my other phone and run you through the apps that I use to kind of brighten things up and stuff. Oh yes, and I redid the nails tonight so I would match. I thought it'd be kind of fun in the photo to have like the red with the red. So yep, it was new nail time and I matched it on purpose this time. Oh, thanks, Kathy. All right, I'm gonna click. Oh, thank you. No time, Mom. Let me check your profile name. Oh, Andrea. Thanks, Andrea. I appreciate that. Making some macaroons. Ooh, yum. That sounds delicious. Okay, I'm flipping you guys around. Hello! Thanks, guys, for coming in tonight. I'm so happy to have you guys here. It is Saturday. Tomorrow's Easter. I don't know. Let me know if you guys are doing some fun stuff for it. We're not doing anything. We did buy wine, though, today, so that's something, I suppose. Oh, thanks, guys. I got the new red nail polish on tonight. So we're going to finish sewing up the block number 11 by Pat Sloan of the Splendid Sampler. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the next block was released a day early. So we're doing the Splendid Sampler mystery quilt along. You can go to thesplendidsampler.com for more information. There's 100 blocks total. They're released every Thursday and Sunday. So tomorrow we were supposed to get one, but it came out today. We're only on block 12, so there's a lot more time for you to join if you want to do it. So yeah, so I printed it out. So we'll start this tomorrow. It is pretty dang fancy. Like we're doing, it's made out of half square triangles. Like we've been doing a lot of half square triangles, so we're pretty familiar with those, but there's a whole bunch of them, and then it's got this little border, and then a whole pile of other bordery stuff, so it's pretty intricate. It's good that it's the Sunday one, because the Sunday one we get a little bit more time before the next block. So we could have started this today, but we're gonna finish this block. I think what we'll do, like I said, we'll finish block 11, and there's 2 more seams, and then I'll show you how to do the photography, and I think there'll still be time left, and so we'll work on the embroidery of block number 11 again. It does come with a grid. So it does come with a grid on the back, but it isn't numbered like paper piecing, like a normal paper pieced template would be, so I don't know. I'd be a little nervous to do this paper piecing. For me, I would need it all cut up with the, 1A, 1B, all that sort of together. It doesn't have that. It just does a grid. I think this is kind of more for kind of figuring out your colors and all that in this case. So I think we're going to do this real piecing this time again. Lots of half square triangles. So that will be tomorrow. Why don't we get started? I'll flip you around. If you're new here tonight, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we create lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer as well. And I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Like I've been saying, we've been doing the Splendid Sampler quilt along. I'm one of the designers for the blocks, and my block we just did is block 11 with all the embroidery of the doily on. We're not done with it here, so we might have some time yet tonight to put a few stitches into that before moving on to block 12. So I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. Let me know what your Easter plans are, and let me know what you're crafting tonight. I do sell some fabric on my site, Fat Quarters, so I'm Penguin and Fish everywhere, so penguinandfish.com. And I'm on that on all social media as well. Penguin and Fish, all one word. All right, I'm going to flip you around and we will get going. All right, here we are, guys. Let me just get y'all tightened up there. Okay. Here we go. Let's sew this together. So luckily, Oh, Easter breakfast and quilting. Oh man, that sounds like a whole pile of perfect. Okay, so we have to match up all of these little edges this time. So luckily we've been doing this whole twirl thing, and that meant we gotta put our seams back and forth. So we're still able to nest all our seams together. And nesting seams allows us to get like these really sharp points there. If you want to find out more about that, you can look at the videos from a couple days ago when we started this. Oh, just finished taxes. Oh goodness. Yeah, you need some wine. Oh, thank you. So I encourage you to check out the past videos for this nesting of seams. You can see all my videos at Catch. It's katch.me/penguin and fish. And all the videos for the Splendid Sampler that I'm doing right there. So we're gonna just go along and match up these seams as we go and hope for the best. So I'm gonna just get going right away here. So the other trick is me sticking to this scant quarter again. I'm doing a pretty good job with it this time around, but you know, not perfect. All right, so now I'm gonna match up the next one. This is I'm kind of not leaving myself too much room because these are little 1-inch squares. So hold on, I just wanna really make sure that that's nested decently. Okay, there we go, I think I got it. Then line up the edges again. Easter service, then mom's for lunch. Oh, yum, that sounds awesome. That sounds like a good, proper, good Easter Sunday. All right. With ham, you need some ham. Finishing Berenstein Bear's crib quilt. Oh, for cute. Oh, that sounds nice. Crafting in holidays, that's kind of fun together. All right, I'm nesting the next seam. See, so I'm going really slow so I can nest every single one of these. I'm still trying to get all these points lined up. This particular block for me has been about trying to up my game in accuracy. Since that's been discovered that I am not all that great at that, and that's what I'm using the Splendid Sampler to learn, and that's what I'm trying to get better at here. All right, so I think we got our last one nested. Let's do this. There we go. All right, I'm going to get my Ender and Leader guy thing here. Oops, sorry, I bumped ya. Oh, you had to pin yours. You know, I would have pinned mine, I think, if I would have pressed open, but I'm pretty confident in this, the whole, the nested seams, where your seams go opposite directions and then they kind of just bump up against each other. Let's snip this and see how we did. I'm going to turn this off so we can see a little bit better. All right. Here we are. I think we're looking pretty decent. Yeah, I think we got all those seams really well. The points are matching up. There's some funniness, like I can tell that this seam was a little bit angled and then it goes to this seam, so our lines might not be perfectly straight, so there's a little wiggle. Again, I totally wouldn't normally be worried about that at all, but again, this particular project is all about working on accuracy for me. So yeah, so we'll sew the next one. I'll sew the next one quickly, and then I'll turn the seams and do all that. All my all my videos can be watched at Catch. It's KATCH.ME, like me, /penguin and fish, all one word. All right. Ooh, you know what? I better double check that I did that okay. Yep. I just didn't want to flip it around on accident. Oh, there we go. Kathy threw it up there, so you can grab it from there. Okay, let's nest this first seam. So here's what I mean by nesting seams. Let's see if I can get this in focus. So this top seam is moving to the left, and this bottom seam is moving to the right. And that means we can, here, let me turn this off so the color gets a little bit better. So that leaves like a little bump where the fold is that are going opposite directions. So I should be able to just bump those two bumps together. And that's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell with this color. But where those two bump up, that's where the point will be. So you're just kind of holding it there. And they kind of lock in together there. So here you can see that seam and that seam going opposite directions, and they're kind of bumping up there. I think I do it a little bit better on some of the videos. I think it looked better at the red. It's kind of hard to see on this dark purple. But all right, let's sew this again, get you in focus. Okay. I think let's double check that I'm nested up there well. Okay, there. I can feel it bumping up against each other. Ooh, I actually made it tonight. Oh, awesome, Cora. Okay, again, I'm watching that scant quarter because that's something that I've learned I'm not all that great at either. Okay, let's match up the next bit. The next bump up of the seams. So I really am bumping it up. Like I can feel the two seams against each other, and that's where I'm holding it, where I can feel them together. All right, next one. So after I bump them up, I'm making sure that my fabrics are aligned still, and then I'm making sure that I'm at that scant quarter, and then I'm going. And then the next one. And one more, then we are done. I want to do the twirling of the seams again. And we did that yesterday too for the rest of our seams. That's what's making these fun little pinwheels. Ooh, let me get that back moved a little bit. And then we will press it. I'm going to just use my stiletto to kind of guide this last piece. There we go, and let's get the ender. Oh, thank you. I'm super excited about these fabrics. I was saying in a past scope like a few days ago that I was getting fabric fatigue. Like I wasn't really liking my fabrics anymore. And then I had this red in my fabric choices, but I hadn't really used it all that much yet. And so I decided to just use it, and now I'm like super excited about the fabrics again. And someone mentioned yesterday that my quilt wanted more red in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so true. That's what it wanted. It wanted more red, and I'm gonna go with that. So let's just double check the corners here. Looking pretty good. So the test will be if this is 6.5 inches when we're done. All right, but our points are looking freaking awesome. So this is significantly better. I mean, we could compare this to block 2, which is pretty similar. We had this many squares in block 2, but it had a few little half square triangles in. And I can tell that this is significantly more accurate than that. So that's kind of exciting for me. That means I'm learning stuff. So now we're gonna do our little pinwheel thing again, which is where we're just basically making the folds go where they want to go because we've already pressed it, and it's opening up the seam a little. So stitches are coming out in the end of our seam, but that's what's making our little pinwheel. So this one wants to go down. I gotta hold it this way. I'm late. Wasn't looking to do it for the Easter Bunny. Oh, that's so cool. Easter Bunny is coming to town. I went to the grocery store and I held off on the jelly beans, which are my favorite candy, and it tastes different during Easter time, like the Brock's jelly beans, like Jellybird eggs. You can buy them like at gas stations and stuff all the time during the year, but they just don't taste the same, even though it's the same brand and everything. They don't taste the same as they do during Easter. Oh, you do have your Reese's egg stashing? Funny. So I held off But I think the only reason I was able to hold off, so there we go, we got our little pinwheel, so we will press that flat, but I'll do this side first. The reason I held off is because we've been eating so many cookies lately from the grocery store, because they make like these awesome peanut butter cookies, and we had like 3 batches of them, right? And so I'm like, oh my god, we cannot buy those anymore, and because that's, if they're in the house, that's all I want to eat. Like I'll have them for breakfast because they're there and they're delicious. So I was kind of on that, I can't have any more sweet stuff for a little while, and I think that's the only reason I was able to hold off today on getting the jelly bird eggs. Ugh, the little gummy jelly beans. Oh my god, they're just my favorite. So I'm gonna see if I can hold off this year. All right, so there we go. We are actually pulling seams out to accomplish this, but this is what's gonna make it lie really flat. And look how cute it is with all those little bits. I'll be eating a cookie next week for sure. Yeah, you'll be done. All right, yeah, you have to avoid the peep section. Oh god, I am in love with peeps too. Not as much as the jelly beans. The peeps, I like when they're like hard for a day. You leave the package open and they just kind of dry out. That's like my most favorite things in the world. Russell Stover coconut nest. I don't know those. Swedish. Oh, see the Cadbury eggs. I don't know. I can't deal with those. They're just too sweet. They hurt my teeth. Ooh, lemon cheesecake. That sounds freaking delicious. All right, I'm gonna press all these little. Ooh, you guys can't really see, can you? Let me tilt you this way a little. I'm gonna press all these little pinwheels down. Put peeps in the microwave? What happens when they go in the microwave? I've never heard that before. That's kind of... Do they explode or something? Or do they melt? That sounds like Crazy Town. They get huge? Really? Oh my god. No, I totally want to do that. Peanut butter eggs. Ooh, yeah, those are good. Ooh, raspberry macaroons. Oh my god, those sound freaking delicious. Yeah, I stared at the almond Kringle that was at the grocery store for a long time, and then I walked away. Because I would have eaten that whole thing myself, and that's like meant for like 6 people. Alright, so let's do this side. I'm just kind of going over them and pressing each one individually. Trying not to ruffle the feathers of all these other seams that are already in here. This one looks like I did it the wrong way last time. Alright, one more. Oh, celebrated your birthday today. Oh, that's exciting. This one's weird to me. I don't think I did that one right. I think that, yeah, that one's supposed to go up. And what this is doing, this pinwheel thing, is just reducing bulk. And it also allows me, usually to reduce bulk, what it seems like from the Splendid Sampler is people have been pressing it open. But I love pressing to the side so we can butt up our seams, so we can do the seams that way, which is how I love it. But yeah, now that I know this little pinwheel twirl thing, I'm going to start using this. Yay for birthdays. Alright, I'm going to just get a nice press on the front, and we'll be done. And then I want to do the whole photo thing. I'll show you how I do that in general. Okay, I think that's good. Man, that really pressed flat. So that's got to be partially, I think, partially from making the seams this way. But I think it's also partially... Oh, there's a few I didn't twirl. Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't twirl this one. Did I? Oh, I just pressed it the wrong way. That's what happened. Oh, and I didn't do this one. Oh, I think when I was pressing them, I folded them over. Kind of funny again. But you're right. Let's do that again. Okay, that one I think when I went over it on this side, I flattened it out. Let's get you nice and flat there. Yeah, and then this one over here. Where'd it go? Right here. There we get all the other ones? I think so. I think it's just this one. All right. Get it flat again. Yeah, I think this is definitely the most accurate piece I've done from the Splendid Sampler so far. Let's get rid of some of the little threads that are hanging out so it looks pretty. It does still look a little, here, let me try and get you guys flat on it. Like this angle looks a little extended. Oh, I think maybe I think I just needed to press it up a little higher. I don't know, but in general, I think that is the most accurate. I think we definitely got all the points. You know, here you can see it kind of angles a little and it angles, but that is so minor. But again, you know, we're shooting for accuracy, so it's just something I'm looking at. Oh, thanks so much, guys. So now here's the test. Let's see how we did on the 6.5-ness of it. I think we're probably pretty good. Let's see. All right, well, that's, I think, the closest we've gotten so far yet. That is not too shabby. Not at all. So, all right, woohoo! Block number 11 done. Pretty darn close, I would say. I still really love this print that looks like a Bic pencil or a Bic pen that someone just drew in. So there we are, guys. So now let's take a photo of it. I'm going to move my ironing board out of the way just because it's casting a little shadow there. Okay, so now what I do for my photography, we'll see. I haven't done this on a Periscope before, so we'll see how well this works. So I'm just going to take a photo with my phone. This is my Samsung Galaxy phone. You know, this is the culprit of all the old scopes that kept wanting to go out. I have a different phone that I'm shooting on now. So I'm going to take the photo with this. I have an app on there that I'll show you that I like to do. But first, we're going to kind of rearrange a little scene here. And I think I might actually get you guys a little higher. Let me, I'm going to just, I got my little, my embroidery box. I'm just going to put it a little higher here. This is what you can see what I'm doing. I'm 2 levels high now. There, so now now we're a little farther away. Okay, so I have just a white piece of tag board. And this is really small. Here, I'll take you off of the tripod for a sec. So here, this is how big it is compared to my block. So, well, I don't know, this would probably be maybe 2 feet by, like that's probably 2 feet, and then by 1.5 feet. So just, I think I got this from Target, just in the kids tag board, you know, school supply stuff. Oh, and actually it's blue on the back, but you know, that actually is kind of interesting. I think we're going to do the white, though. I typically do stuff on white. So I'm going to just lay that down. And already we have like a nice little background going here, right? So, and I do, when I finish the photo, I do want it cropped in pretty tightly on the block, I'm thinking. So we'll be able to see, we'll be able to frame it up on the phone here really well. So, all right, I took all the little bits off. So now I kind of want to decorate it. So this is the first step, just getting a nice white background. But I always like putting like little bits and pieces around. I kind of want to have my hand in because I have this funny nail polish on tonight. You know, something like this would be kind of funny, maybe. But let's see, what else do we have to decorate? I have my stiletto that I use a lot, and it's blue, so that could be, you know, we could do red things up here to blue. I wonder what else I have laying around. Oh, I have these cool scissors that I got from eBay. This is that button scissor. You know what, guys, I think it's a left-hand scissors because I'm able to do it really easily with the left hand, but the right hand, I get caught. So I think it's actually, could be a left-handed buttonhole scissors. Isn't it crazy? But that's kind of cool. We could just frame it with a bunch of pointy things because we had a lot of points. That's kind of interesting. So pointy things. Here's another funny scissors. Let's see. We could do all scissors and then a stiletto. That's kind of fun. I don't know. So that would be an option. You know, we could do something with pins, or let's see what else. I have, hold on. Let me grab this. This is my box where I keep all my scraps. It's a a clipboard, and then on the inside. So this is all my scraps from the Splendid Sampler so far. I even put a calculator in there if I needed it. I even saved all my little bits and stuff and threads from, you know, sewing machine discarded stuff. So I have that. You know, that could be kind of fun. Or I have, let's see, I have, this is from this block, you know, could throw in a couple extra little deals like that. I don't know, that's kind of maybe interesting, or maybe it's not, I don't know. Ooh, this one, I like this block here. Why don't we throw that? That's kind of cute open. I don't know, I don't want to get it too crazy either. I know I'm just getting a little nuts here now, but it's kind of interesting, right? So why don't we just throw some blue down here and we'll just pretend that this is what we're doing here. Let's do blue with the pretty stiletto, and then maybe another bluish one down here. I don't think I have another scrap from that, but I have this, which was in the collection. We could just throw that here. So how about like that, and then we'll crop it way in, and we'll just leave it like this. All right, so I do like playing around with it a little bit. I think that's kind of fun. All right, this is what it's gonna be, guys. So now I have my phone. I'm gonna just go to, oh, there, you know, my little code now. Let's see, I'm gonna go to camera, and we're gonna just take a photo of this. I'm gonna try and get up high here. I'll show you what it looks like in a sec here, though. All right, so this is, oops, let's go to the gallery. So this is my photo, and you know what? Let me just see if it's in focus. Yeah, it's in focus enough. So I'm gonna just use that. We're not gonna get too crazy. So this is my photo. So this is in my gallery right now. You know, I even went off the edge a little. It's kind of crazy. So we can tell it's not too bright or anything yet. We're gonna adjust it now. So the app that I like using for that is Visco. So you can do a search. This is on, you can find it in the Play Store if you're using an Android, or you can find it in the iTunes Store as well. So here's what it looks like when you go in Visco, and then I go to my library. So this is all my things that I have in there right now. It's a whole pile of penguin and fish type stuff. So I go to the plus, oops, I missed it. I'm trying to do this through the phone, so I'm like a little reverse. So I'm gonna grab it from all photos. So I'm gonna select that, hit check mark. So now it's importing. All right, so I'm gonna click on it, and now I'm gonna go to the area where I wanna work on it. You need to do one with your nails. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the nails. All right, yeah, we're starting over. I forgot about that. I wanted to do my nails in there. We're gonna start over, guys. That's the whole point. I wanted to do with my nails. I totally forgot already. So why don't let's just do it again. What about we'll just make my nails be kind of funny too. Or maybe my nails could be, I don't know. Let's see, that's kind of funny. Let's go like that. Oh, you guys can't see. I'll show you in a sec here. All right, so let's go to the gallery again. Oh, it's upside down. Well, it's upside down because I had my phone funny rotated, but let's do this. So let's bring that one in. Thanks for reminding me. That was the whole point. You know, I wonder if I should I'm gonna take one more. Now we're getting crazy. My fingernail was going over the red here, and I don't think you could see it, so I'm gonna put it over this one so you can see it a little bit better. All right. There. All right, now let's do that one. Okay, so that's my image now. I think that's what we're gonna work with. I forgot about the nails. Okay, so now let's go back to Visco. Let's add another one, and we're gonna add it from the camera, and then the last one, and plus. All right, so this is the new one. Let me see if that's in focus. All right. Oops, click that, and then we're gonna go right here. This is how we edit the photo, the little they're not dials, the little toggly type things. All right, so now we're in the edit area. So it has a bunch of filters down here. Oops, sorry guys, I'm doing it through the phone. So it has filters, and those, you know, you can really start changing things, but that's not what we're gonna do first. First, I'm gonna go pull that up, and I'm gonna hit the little wrench. And this is where we're gonna start, I'm gonna start editing. So first thing I'm gonna do is crop it. I'm gonna do, it automatically does a 1-to-1 crop, and I can change that, but I want the 1-to-1. So I'm gonna start kind of framing this. That's almost kind of fun like that, but you know, it's kind of funny over here. It's weird with that tiny little bit. So maybe I'll trim some of those a little bit and trim it over here. But maybe that's not, well, we'll see what that looks like. So the nice thing about the Visco app, which is what we're using, is that it's not permanent. So if I crop this, I can go back and recrop it. In a lot of programs, you can't do that. So I'm gonna hit plus, or like check mark, just so we can see what it looks like. Okay, I don't know if I like all these little scissors cut off. So let's go back to the crop, and let's just add it back in so we can see the tops of those scissors a little bit more. So we'll just move it up a hair like that. So maybe that looks good. Let's try. So plus. So maybe we'll leave it like that. This isn't centered, but that's kind of fun. It's kind of cute. Let's just leave it as is, all right? So the next thing I like to do is I go to the first one, which is the exposure. And I always, let's get real close here. I always boost it up a bit. So 1 or 2 points. So this is if I go a ton. This is if I go like way less. And this is normal again. And you know, I think my phone, you know, that you guys are at is kind of auto-correcting it, auto-exposuring this for me. So this might not look totally right. So I'm gonna try and look at my phone too. So that's really bright. Oh, you know, the other thing I forgot to say, guys, I have a light on here right now. It'd be good to take this with as much light as you can get. So if you are, you know, during the daytime by a window would probably be the best. All right, so I'm gonna hit plus, I kind of like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go here, which is the contrast. Again, here's it super contrasty, here's it no contrasty at all. This one I always kind of bump up the contrast. It's gonna really make that red pop like crazy town, and that's kind of the theme here. We want that just to like be crazy, that red. So I think that's gonna look good like that. So let's check that. The next thing I like to go to is saturation, and we're gonna bump up that saturation of that red even more. Ooh, see, now that's too hot. See how it made my hand a little hot? I think we don't want it so hot. Here, let's see. You know, I think that's pretty good. And I will this is the photo that I'll post on Facebook on the Splendid Sampler when I'm done here. I'll do it actually right after this scope so you guys can see it there. All right, the next thing I like doing is the temperature. So normally when you take a photo indoors, it ends up being pretty yellow. So I like to add some blue in. This is if we add a ton of yellow in it. This is if we add a lot of blue, and my phone here is auto-correcting it, so you'll have to see. So I'm gonna just add a hair of blue in, and that's just gonna make it look more like daylight, which is kind of a prettier light. Let's see what 2 looks like, and I think we'll just go 1. And then the next one is the little tint button. So if I tint it, I can tint it really pink, or I can tint it really yellow, and I always like adding just a tinge of pink in. I think, especially since we have all this red, it's just gonna make it look even more red. Let's see what 2 looks like. Okay, I kind of like the 2. It's making the skin color a little pinker too. And then I do this one. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this app too. This one, you can control how much shadows there are. So if you go all the way up, it kind of gets rid of all the black. So my shadows are really, really dull now, but now it's starting to not look like a hand anymore. It's looking just like a flat object. So that's obviously too much. I'm only gonna do about 2 or 3, and that's gonna suck out some of the darkness from these 3D objects. I think it's kind of pretty. Okay, we'll look good there. I think we pretty much did everything. They do have this one thing, which is this human head, and that's to change the skin tone. You can make the skin tone pinker or yellower, and I think we're gonna just leave that as 0. We could probably maybe, there I added just a hair of pink. Again, we're going for this whole red thing, so the pink's fine. Okay, so that's all I do here. And now I slide this guy up again. And now we'll go back to the filters. And there's a couple filters I like using. It might change the color a lot. So here's one that I like using it's at 100%, but if I click it again, so there's 0% and there's 100%. This one's really blowing it out. We'll do like maybe 2 or 3. And that now we have like this crazy bright red. I mean, we're going for all this red, right? So I think that's the photo, guys. So I'm gonna hit check mark, put this up again, and hit check mark. So now it's saved right here, and then all I have to do is save back to my gallery. And now I'm ready to post that on Facebook and everywhere else. So I go through this process for basically all my photos that I'm going to post anywhere. So here you can kind of see, this was the before, and this is the after. You can see the difference there. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Oops, sorry guys. That's how much change we did. So, I mean, this one's much nicer. Here's the one before. So that's let's get in focus again. There's our original shot that we just did. And here's how we bumped it up. Yeah, a huge difference. Just the brightness is doing it. And look at my hand. It looks just cooler, you know? Like, look how dark the hand was. Shadowy and all that. And then, you know, look how poppy and everything is now. So there we go. That is my process. Well, you know, I kind of usually do this right when I'm done with the block. You know, again, I just have this little white piece of Checkerboard that I got. You rearrange something. And, you know, you can do more than one and play around with it. But yeah, so that's the Visco app. And again, let's back out of this. It's right here. So if you do a search for VSCO, that's kind of my go-to app for this. So, all right, guys, there we go. Why don't we embroider for a little? So I will, I'll show you guys. I'll post that photo because I know this phone that you guys are looking at, it's kind of auto trying to do it, so you guys couldn't see exactly what I was taking a photo of. But yeah, you know what? Everyone is taking such nice photos of all their blocks and posting it to the Facebook page. So, I mean, here's a way if you want to like amp up your photo that you post on Facebook just a little bit more. That's kind of the process that I do. Oh yeah, no problem, guys. So it's fun, you know, it does take a little bit more time, but it's fun to do the little whole collage thing. I mean, I could just take it like this, but you know, that's not fun. Like, this is what most people do. Like, okay, here's it finished, and now let's take it to the side. But you know, when it's compared to, ooh, oh, it's not unlocking. Here's, you know, this compared to, you know, if we lay out something, and that didn't take a long time either. I mean, you can whip through that. It's just so much more fun, right? So that's what I like doing. All right. There is block 11 finished. I'm pretty excited about that one. So here's my little binder. I can throw that in soon. So here is block number 11. This is my block. We're not very far with it. So again, here's my binder. I have all my finished ones on this side. So ooh, we can see how these, like, look at that red with that heart. That's kind of crazy. Ooh, look at these two red ones together. That's kind of fun. I like that. Even the blue. Look, we use this. Hate to admit, that's me, not anymore. Oh, we'll set up now. Yeah, you know, it really doesn't take long. Ooh, I like this yellow with the red. It's just it's just a little extra step, and then the unfinished ones are on this side. It's just a little extra step that, you know, kind of goes a long way, really. And I mean, that's what I'll post on Instagram. That's what I'll post everywhere. But for sure, I mean, you know, there's so many people showing off their blocks in the group. You know, why not amp up the photo a little bit? Oh, that's what you're doing with your blocks? All right, so let's You're doing the binder? You know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get a bigger binder real quick here. I'm thinking that my skinny binder ain't gonna be working too well, too much longer. All right, I'm gonna lower you guys again. Reduce one of my embroidery holders. There we are. All right, let's embroider a little tonight. We got about, 15 minutes or so here yet, and 15 minutes is just long enough to get, more done, right? And every little minute counts for embroidery. So look at this, it's almost done, and I only used this on this project. I don't know. I'm using a new floss. It's Weeks Dye Works, and they only come in 5-meter packs, or at least the ones that I had. I don't know if I might have gotten just sample ones, but the ones that I have are only 5 meters, and usually embroidery floss comes in 8 meters. So this is freaking me out a little bit. I'm hoping that I have enough to finish this up. I've never gone through a whole skein of floss on a project, so it didn't even occur to me that could happen. So now I'm a little scared. So hopefully we can make it through. I think we'll probably have just enough, but that's not cool. Not digging that. All right, I do, like I've said on this block before, I take it out of the hoop when I'm not working on it. I think I'll just make it, Cora. I think you're right. I'm hoping I make it. I take it out of the hoop because it can really crease the edges, and I don't want it permanently creasing it by keeping it in the hoop forever. All right, let's get that in there. Oh, I think I have to loosen it a little bit more. There we go. All right, that's looking good. Okay, we're set up there. Now let's grab three strands. I just made it. Oh, you had 18 inches left? Ah! Oh my gosh. That's super scary. I don't know if I like that. That did not even occur to me that I would go through a whole skein. But yeah, so I think we'll just make it too, but oh well. If we have a little less in this outer thing, you know what, that's gonna be just fine too. Or if we get to the end of this and I have barely any left, maybe I'll just skip the rest of it. I know a lot of people are just, well, you know what, I don't want to skip it because I want to do this needle, but I could have it start spinning and then kind of go off the edge here if I need to. Oh, you used cotton pearl. I kind of want to do another one of these where I do with the pearl cotton floss, because I think it looks so pretty. Everyone that's doing it with the pearl cotton, all of theirs is just shiny and bouncy, and I kind of really like how that's looking. But for this one, I thought I'd do the 6-strand embroidery floss. I'm using 3 strands of the 6-strand embroidery floss, just because this is how my instructions say, and for I didn't want to do something too different. You know, when I'm trying to show people how to do it. The size was 8, just perfect. Oh, nice. Okay, so 8 is the skinnier size. The size 5 pearl cotton floss is a little fatter. You know what, I'm gonna just snip this edge a little. It's not wanting to go in. So I'm just getting a clean edge on my embroidery here. Snip it off to the side. So to thread it, again, I am not holding it out here and trying to jam it in there, and I'm not licking it at all. I am squeezing it in my fingers and then releasing. So squeeze and release, you can kind of see it. So I'm squeezing it here, and right when I see it released, I'm gonna put the eye of the needle right over, then I'm gonna continue releasing, and it goes right into the eye, and then you just pull it out. Keep pulling on it. Ooh, it's kind of feeling like it's twisting up funny tonight. Okay, but I think we're good. Okay, where did we leave off? It looks like we need to do from here. You was going to use metallic for the hook and silver, but you had gray but the gray cotton. Oh yeah, you know what? The gray pearl would be perfect for that, because yeah, the pearl does have a shiny look to it. So I'm going to do my away knot, and we've talked about that a lot, and we'll touch on base on it here. But for now, know that I'm going to start here, and I am going to make a knot, and I'm gonna go about 4 inches away from my start point. Just anywhere. kind of out of the way of where you're stitching. So I don't want to go here because it's going to cross over my stitches. I'm going to go here since it's not going to cross over at all. So I tied in a knot at the end, and there, it's stuck there. So remember that's there, but you can forget about it now. So, all right. I'm going to do that kind of reverse chain stitch that we've been doing. Use gold metallic. Oh, you don't like it for the hook. I think there's some gold hooks out there, isn't there? I think just go with what you think would look nice with your block. So this is a little different than my normal chain stitch and how I learned to do chain stitch. If you go to my Catch, katch.me/penguinandfish, where all my videos are saved, I did a tutorial right before this block came out on 2 different ways to do the chain stitch. And this way is the new way that I've never actually done in real life before, except for just on a little sampler piece. I've read about it on blogs and stuff, and I wanted to give it a try, so I thought, this is the project to give it a try. Metallic can be hard to work with. Yeah, the metallic definitely can be tricky sometimes, but it's a fun look too, so I thought I'd just play around with that. So now it's back to relax and chill out time, relax and craft time. You can actually I can feel like my breath going a little slower and stuff when I start this. It's just kind of crazy. Once my body realizes like, oh, we're doing this slow craft again. Okay, I'm gonna just settle in here, you know? I can kind of feel that happening, which is just kind of awesome. Kind of stitching in slow motion, but you know what? It's late, and that's the kind of stitching it calls for tonight. I like it. All right, next little loop-de-doop. And I'm gonna try and grab this other loop just so I can kind of tack it down as I go. And we'll keep going around this guy. Oh, I finished, we've been talking about the life-changing magic of tidying up and the Spark Joy, which is the second book, the follow-up. I finished the Spark Joy book today, and I totally recommend it. Again, I was thinking, I don't need to see this, the second book, but I really like it. Found a new craft store today, and they actually had embroidery floss. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, that's always fun to try, or fun to see when, you know, a shop has that stuff. I won't have to order online all the time. Yeah, it's so nice, and when you can buy from a store, I mean, then they can, oh, I'm getting confused here. Okay, then they can help you with stuff too, and recommend new things. And the nice thing about buying embroidery floss at a nice local store is a lot of times they have different types of embroidery floss. Like if you just go to a Joann's or something, they're most always going to have DMC. But yeah, at a specialty or like a local quilt shop sort of thing, they might carry some other ones. Like this is Weeks Dye Works, which is really fun. It's all hand dyed, and they have so many beautiful variegated stuff happening. Like it's just ridiculous how pretty it is. But then there's like Cosmo Floss is just another brand, and that's really, really pretty too. So a lot of times you get more variety at local shops because they're trying to be different than the Joann's, you know? It's fun. I'm in roar all again. I have to order everything. Yeah, that's unfortunately the case with a lot of people. They have to order everything just because they're in a rural area. Will hand dye run? It may. We talked about that a little with here. I kind of knew that it might, and I'm kind of just giving it a test. So, Weeks Dye Works, they used to on their packaging, I wonder if I can pull this out. They used to on their packaging, it depends if this is an old one. Oh yeah, so this is an old one. So this one says let's tap that. So this one says, our fiber is hand dyed. It is not color fast. If it must be washed, use only cold water and avoid color bleeding. So their new packaging says it's color fast for industry standards. I'm not sure they've actually changed anything. I just think they realized that, oh, every place might run, so we don't have to put that on anymore either. So that's kind of what I'm testing. I'm like, okay, we'll see if this runs or not. You guys, we've talked about color catchers. So I wonder if Target has that. I might run to Target. You know what? I could just Amazon Prime it. I'll get it before this is done. I'll go find some of that on Amazon, and we'll test that out. So if this does, if it does, I was going to say melt, but that's not the word. Oh, run. If the dye does run, we can test to see if that color catchers gets out dye from embroidery floss. So, you know, I kind of almost hope it runs, because then we can do that test. Mine says color fast, but says to wet dry, before use. What does that mean? Wet dry. Target has it, you said? They should have it at Target. Okay. Maybe I'll head to Target. I'm trying to get around all these other stitches, but I'm having a little trouble. We're just gonna go like that. Oh, so do what then? Do what and then let dry? Pray before you use. I don't know what that's supposed to say. Oh, pre-wash. Oh, pre-wash. Yeah, I did not do that, so we're gonna just see what happens is what we're gonna do. But yeah, maybe I will get some of that color catchers just to have on hand. All right, we're gonna jump up to here. You know what? I'm not gonna jump. I'm going to kind of weave in to get up that high, so I don't have as big of a jump to make. There we go. Now we'll start up here again. This is kind of where we left off last time we worked on it. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have just started down here. Maybe I should have started down here and then done this, but oh well, I'm already up here. So we're gonna do this now. I think I'll probably just keep going around this top area maybe, or I don't know, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. We'll get this far done and see how much floss we have left. I kind of like planning my general direction I want to go for things while I'm working. So what I was doing is I was doing, you know, a center section and then doing the loop for it and then doing the next center section and then how far the loop's made. But now I just did the center section and then I'm going to do the loops a little farther than what I was wanting to do, but I think it'll be fine. Alright. A little purple crochet guy. I should get my my little doily in the picture here too, so we can, that's the little inspiration for this. We'll do this for a few more minutes. I'll do it till I have this floss done. How about that? And then we'll put it away again, because we'll be working on the next block tomorrow, block number 12. And yeah, that one looks like it has a pile of stuff going on in it. So that'll be interesting. It'll definitely take several days. We'll do all those half square triangles, and we'll get to pick new fabrics. I'm kind of excited for that. Fun, fun, fun! I get to fall in love with another block. I've been saying how, like, in the middle of every block, I just fall in love. It's like, there's a point. I think the point is after I'm done cutting and I start. Oh, you're going to start your second block today. Awesome. The second block is a lot like this. But I get through the cutting of it all, and then I start sewing the pieces. And then once I sew, like, you know, the second set of pieces, I think that's when I start to fall in love. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see the pieces touching each other and I like them. I think that's when the like squee factor starts, that, you know, where I really like it. I mean, I always start out having fun and liking it, but you know, you fall in love at some point with it, and that's, I think, the point, when I start seeing how the fabrics look together when they're sewn. Because you can kind of guess what they look together when you lay it all out, but until they're actually sewn with a seam, I feel like they change at that point a little bit, for me at least. It's been kind of fun so far, because I wasn't expecting that through this whole process. Agreed. Oh, that's cool. I love it. You know, and this is really my first time doing a lot of individual blocks like this. It's my first sampler I've ever sewn. And kind of, you know what? It might be my first block-based quilt, where it's based on making a bunch of blocks and sewing the blocks together. I kind of don't do that, I think, now that I'm thinking about all my quilts. Sometimes I'll do like a big fun center area and then a bunch of bordery type stuff, or it'll be very minute blocks and a ton of those, like a lot of half square triangles, for example. Something like that, but I don't think I've done a quilt where it's make this really fancy block and then make 12 more of them, you know? So this is kind of doing that for me too, a little bit. Yeah, I don't think I've done a quilt like that, actually. In my head I have, because I've seen a lot of my mom's, I think, but I don't think I actually did any. I think I've just seen hers when she's working on it. Huh. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more. Oh, I guess my, just my jean quilt, if you look way back in Catch, that's something I'd like to finish this year, actually. My jean quilt, that's all individual blocks, but those are kind of log cabins. It's not... Log cabins are pretty easy. You just keep going around and around and around. Nothing intricate, like where, okay, now you need a half square triangle here and a half square triangle here and like other stuff there. I haven't done anything like that. I do like my log cabins though. That's fun. All right, I'm gonna start going around these little bits up here, and then we're gonna run out of floss and we will call it a night when that happens. I'll weave in my away knot and this first knot, just so this end here, so I can show you how I like doing that. Again, it's how I do all my embroidery now. I weave in the ends so I don't have any knots on the back. Quick questions. Can you see my comments? Yep, I can see it, LaShonda. Oh, have you been commenting a lot? I'm kind of glancing up and down, so I might have been missing them. So if you have a question, let me know again. But yep, I can see you. All right, our thread's getting smaller. Oh, you cannot see anyone's comments? Okay, you know what, LaShonda? Go out and come back in, because that's what happened to me. This is actually my second scope right now. I went out, I started it, and no one was there. And I'm like, you know what? I think something's wrong. I'm going to come out and go back in. And when I went out, I saw that, oh, I had like all these people in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't see any of you guys. So I would just try, okay, so you see Cora's. So I don't know, I would just try going out and coming back in. I was definitely having issues earlier. All right, I'm gonna do a few more stitches here, and then we will weave in the ends. You know what, I think I'm gonna just do this one stitch, actually. All right, so when I have just a little bit left, I just weave in and out of stitches in the back. And I do that back and forth 3 times, and that pretty much secures the floss. I try and grab go in between as many little bits of floss as I can along the way. I think it's more secure than a knot, and it doesn't leave like all the little ends that a knot does. Oh, I have like a little fuzzy, oh, I think it's just coming out a little there. So my thread doesn't catch on anything during the process. All right, Doily, you gotta get out of the way. All right, then I'm snip it close to my stitches. This one looks like it needs to get snipped again. Okay, and then now the away knot that we had earlier, I'm just gonna cut that off. I think it's just today, LaShonda. It's just weird today. And then I'll thread that needle again. And then I'll weave in this end as well. And that's what the away knot is. You're getting yourself an end to weave in later. So it's a little extra step and it uses up some floss, but it's nice without having any knots on the back. And one more. Is there a 1 year anniversary? Maybe lots of people on. Oh, that could be. Yeah, I think it's Periscope's 1 year anniversary today. So, and I was counting. I think I've been on since October, so that's about 5 months. So I've been on here, I think almost 6 months already. So I must have started when they were 6 months in or so. All right, so there it is for the evening. I'm just taking it out of the hoop right away because, like I said, when I'm not stitching, I take it out of the hoop because I don't want these creases to be permanent in there. So let me just put my hoop together again, and we'll take a look at it. So here are our 2 blocks this evening, and again, this will take us quite a while yet. We're past the halfway point of the doily, but this will be like another one. This will be probably another 2 nights for this. Another night probably for the thread and a little bit of the needle, and then probably another night for the rest of the needle and to take off the embroidery stabilizer. So what's that? That's like 4 more sessions about. And you know, with all the new blocks yet, it'll be a little while for this because we're just going to jump back when we get the other blocks done. But there we are, our 2 blocks that we worked on tonight. And again, I encourage you to watch the catch because we did that, how to do the photograph of that, how I like doing my photos of blocks. So you can watch the catch, katch.me/penguinandfish to rewatch the video of that. I'm going to flip you guys around. Hello, hello. So here are the 2 blocks. I like holding them up because then you can really see how small they are. Oh, these will look cute next to each other. I'm excited. Yay, I hope I get this guy done soon. Thanks for coming in again, guys. We are going to start block number 12 tomorrow. They've released it early, so we actually do have it already. I'm going to start picking out fabrics. It's a pile of crazy. It's going to be fun. It'll be exciting. I think I'm going to do the whole, what is that? The spray. I'm going to do starch. Jeez. We'll do the starch again, I think. I think that worked out really well for this one, and this one has a pile of small pieces too, so we'll try that out again, the starch. So thanks for being here again, guys. Again, you can watch everything on Catch. It's katch.me/penguinandfish. And I invite you to join me everywhere else as I'm Penguin and Fish. I'm on, Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see you guys there. So have a great evening. I will see you again tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Central. And have a great Easter morning and afternoon and everything like that tomorrow. Good night. See you later, guys.